Hey, unstuckers! Cel and Josh coming at you, and welcome to Casual Friday, where we take a moment to have a mini-mastermind to problem solve, set goals, and keep the ball rolling on our own businesses. This week on the podcast, we talked about productivity with Ellen Goodwin. So check out Wednesday's episode if you missed it. Josh, tell me about your week. Oh, damn, you went from glasses to no glasses real quick.
I did because there was a lot of reflection. And I was like, this is going to be really annoying to look at for YouTubers. So I decided to do y'all a favor and take the reflection off my eyes. My week has been crazy.
Two
It's
weeks in a
been
row.
super busy with fixing computers, and I've had a lot of the thing about fixing computers is a lot of times you might find that like, hey, I'm going to fix this computer. I've done this a million times. It's probably going to take me 20 minutes. We're good. And that lasts for days, just randomly on like a computer. None of the tricks you normally do work, et cetera, et cetera. And other times you're like, oh, I don't know what to do about this. It's going to be such a mess. I'm going to have to be here for hours. I'm going to have to think about lots of things and how to do this just right. And you can fix it in 10 minutes. Sometimes you just don't know, is my point. And I had one of those former weeks that I was just talking about of everything was a lot harder than it normally is. Um,
Fuck.
so I won. I won everything, all the battles I went into this week in IT. But oh, it's just like when you're on like hour 2.5 of tech support with the same computer, it's like mind numbing.
Fuck.
Good news is I won. I got through some things. Bad news is, yeah, it took my whole week, and all the stuff I normally do in like half the time took like twice the time. So I've been super busy for that reason, not just because like twice as many clients came out of the woodwork this week.
Yeah,
Um, so that kind of sucked, but you know, it happens every once in a while. I get a week like this. But my
for
big
sure.
update from last week was that I said I was going to put a bunch of money into the ads and see how things worked, and hopefully get some people signed up for my course this week. And drum
And
roll, 0 courses sold.
no,
But
a
it's
hundred
not
dollars
all
out the
bad.
window.
Yeah, it's not all bad. I did spend $150 on ads this week out the window. But
Fuck.
the good news is that so when they sign up for my ad, they get or when they see the ad, they click the ad, they sign up and get the free PDF, right? And then that triggers like 10 emails. Some of them are like, here's a tip, and some of them are like, here's a question. And one of the first emails is like, hey, what's holding you back? Um, I've gotten a few responses on emails, which
That's
is
good.
saying something like engagement. Um, and I've learned something, which is based on small sample size, but based on my responses and actually remembering and thinking back to people I talked to as I was building the course, friends and colleagues and stuff. That a lot of people who are interested in starting their own podcast don't know what niche, who their audience would be, or what to talk about. They're just interested in the idea of the podcast. And my course is all the technical. Like, you've got the idea, here's how to do it, right? Um, so when I've been selling them is how to do a thing, but not what, like, not guiding them on solidifying their ideas and what about.
Yeah.
So I think I mentioned last week or the week before that like, oh, I probably do like one of the lessons. I'll unlock it as a free lesson, and you can see a lesson, and then hopefully that makes you want to sign up for more. Well, based on this response that I just got, which again, 0 courses sold, um, but some feedback is super valuable. My audience seems to want to know how to validate their ideas, how
Hmm.
to pare down to a niche, how to uh, be sure that they've got an idea for like a format for how they want their show to run before they get to the technical, which makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Um, I was just assuming that people that clicked on their ads had an idea and they wanted to run with it, but it looks like, at least small sample size, the people who are clicking on that ad so far who've talked to me at all, um, are back at square one here, where I thought square one was like a little further down the road. So what I've decided to do, based on this research that I paid for, is instead of making one of my lessons free, I'm going to make a new lesson that is less screen share technical babble stuff, trying to make the tech easy, um, and is more just idea validation, how to niche down, how to select your niche, all this stuff, which I'm going to do
Nice.
some like research on. I have definitely a lot of ideas about that, but because I think a lot of that applies the same to just business,
For sure.
how to start your business, right? Which we've talked a lot about. But I'm going to research some more so I can really like get to my niche, which is apparently people who are really, really just starting out with this idea of a podcast. And so I'm going to have a free lesson, like talking to the camera. I'm going to try and produce it real nice with lighting and whatnot. And additionally to the PDF, and put it in the email chain, or just cold in ads in the future, say sign up for this free lesson, and um, and see how that goes, because I think that could really build a lot of rapport and trust with their teacher, aka me, um, and lead to more like, okay, well, and it might take them a little longer, right? Because there's a lot to idea validation. But
Yeah.
maybe if they take that free course and a month later they're like, nope, that's really what I want to do. And I've gone through all the steps he said and I know what I want to do, then they come back to me hopefully and take the course. So all that is to say, new plan, a lot more work to do. Um, but I don't think it'll be that hard for me to bang out because luckily, like, I'm pretty good at editing, camera, writing things. I just took Donald Miller's course on communication, which I am going to use in this because, man, that was like, I had a best man speech a few weeks ago to give. I had everyone laughing when I wanted him to laugh. I had everyone crying when I wanted him to cry. It was beautiful, and it was thank you, Donald Miller, for your business communication course. I used it in a wedding speech, and it worked great. So I'm going to use all that and create just a really great course. Luckily, I have like enough skills. I think I could like hopefully do it this weekend or something, but
Yeah.
or at least write it and then maybe next weekend produce it. Um, and So I'm thinking of doing that, I guess. So my
Cool.
question, my feedback thing is A, do you think that sounds good? Do you think I'm on the right track? And B, webinar versus highly produced like free video that you can watch on demand.
Okay. Um, yes, I think it's a good idea to have that addition because I think giving people clarity, even if they've seen it from like a million different sources, giving them clarity from your perspective, I think just validates your course so much more because then you're knowledgeable about that. So,
Right.
yes, I. Okay, so with the webinar thing, like you have an email list now, right? Like based off of like the free content you've given out. I think
Mm-hmm.
doing a webinar for you would make more sense rather than something that's evergreen, but also record the webinar so that you can send it to people or that can be something that's evergreen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was thinking, I guess my perspective on why I was leaning towards video is
Mm-hmm.
everyone's got a freaking webinar right now, and me personally, who takes courses, and I'm that person. I'm sick of freaking webinars,
Yeah.
and I'm sick of either signing up for one that actually happens live and is on some date, or I'm sick of signing up for one that pretends to be live and starts in 10 minutes, but we all know it's not. Like, I'm
Yeah.
just sick of all of them, and instead of like I'm also very sick of the webinar format, which is like half an hour of the person talking about their journey and their story, which is supposed to be motivating, and it probably works, which is why everyone does it. But I'm
Yeah.
sick of it. Whereas, like, I just like to be like, no, this is a video lesson. Like, this isn't like a pitch or it's like
Yeah.
a here's your information.
The only reason I
But
said, yeah, the only reason I said it is because you already have, how many people do you have on your email list now for this? Like a couple hundred?
yeah, I had 300 from the initial get go that I did,
Yeah.
and it's just been running at a smaller scale ever since. So I haven't looked in a while at what the email list is at because it's all been
Yeah,
automated, but I'm guessing somewhere between 500 and 700 people there.
that's significant. I think that that's more significant to get them on a webinar of some sort than
Mm.
to just send them an email with a link
With
to
a link
a
to a
free
video.
video. Yeah.
Yeah.
At least initially,
Yeah.
try it once. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's an hour out of
Yeah.
your time. Try it once. Give yourself like, I don't know, like a week. I don't know what the right amount of time is to like schedule
Right.
that.
Right.
But
The thing I like about that idea too is a webinar gets me to do it for the first time live, and again get some feedback in chat or Q&A
totally.
that I could use to produce said video later, right, with more experience and knowledge and
Yeah.
feedback. So maybe that's a great idea.
Yeah. I
Yeah, it
think
went from a good idea to a great idea.
yeah, no, I think you really have to because taking advantage of that list is going to be so key. And they don't necessarily want something that's evergreen right now. They want to know you.
Right. Yeah. 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 I think that's a good idea. So I'm going to try that. Um, I'll give it some more thought, but maybe something like first weekish of December, have the actual webinar.
Yeah.
And kind of pitch it as like a you can totally start your podcast next year thing,
Yeah.
right? So
Totally.
people are looking at new year, new possibilities, etc. Um, and then we'll just see how it goes, how many people show up, and make it translate it to evergreen once I'm like, I know how this works. Like I know
Yeah,
what people
definitely.
want
And
from me.
obviously have an opt-in to buy, maybe do some type of incentive on the webinar so that people
Right.
are more willing to buy, you know what I mean, like 10% off
Absolutely.
or whatever.
And it's less work, honestly,
Oh
right?
yeah,
Because if
100%.
nobody shows up at the webinar, I didn't make a video that
Yeah.
nobody's watching, right? So
Yeah.
cool. I like that idea. Excellent. Good chat.
If you didn't have a list though, I would say do the opposite. But
Mm-hmm.
because you have such a
So
significant
build the
list,
list.
you want them to be front and center.
Yeah, that's a good call. That's a
But
good call.
just like provide value. You don't have to talk about yourself for the half hour. Like you don't have to do that same format, you know, but like actually provide value.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. I like that idea. And then let's see. So that's all the course kind of stuff,
Cool.
and the IT stuff. Um, the assistant is still working out great, as I mentioned last week. I won't go into that, but that's just like lovely to like type in a little to-do list like, hey, try and get this done this week, and it gets done. But I can't remember if I mentioned this last week or not, but I really I'm way more productive because I have an accountability buddy,
Oh
and
yeah.
that is my assistant. Like when I assign her things to do, I think, and I assign myself things to do, instead
Mhm.
of going like, I could do that later. Like she can see my list and I can see her list, and whether she's paying attention or not, it motivates me to get my own shit done because I'm like, someone else can see if I'm just slacking today or not.
That's awesome.
And so that's been really good. I've been way more productive since we've kind of figured out the system, and that's more productive than I usually am. And I think I reckon to say, or I reckon that's the wrong thing.
I reckon to
Uh,
say.
I reckon I'd say, I don't know what I'm saying anymore, but I would hazard a guess. That was the thing I was trying to
Oh
say.
my
I would
god.
hazard a guess that I'm a fairly productive person already, but I've been way more productive, which is super cool. So, um, but yeah, I think that's it. That's going to be my like thing to focus on upcoming is try and engage the list and announce the webinar and
Cool.
see if people like really respond because I was starting 3 steps down the road and they want to start at step one.
Yeah, for sure. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy we could brainstorm that.
Yeah. Thanks. That was super useful. I love it when Fridays are useful and they almost always are. You're also my other accountability buddy. I have to show up to you and our audience every week and go, oh crap, I didn't do the thing I said I'd do. So
Dude, that
like,
literally helped me light a fire under my ass today for the things that I haven't
excellent.
gotten done the last couple of days.
What did you do today then? I mean, last week, but we all know it's today.
Wow. I actually did a lot this week, so I wrote it down. I've been using my notebook a
Nice.
lot more. So I don't think I updated last week because I got distracted by Dustin, but ActiveCampaign versus MailChimp. I switched over and that went
Right.
seamlessly. So we're
Nice.
good.
Nice.
Use the things you pay for, guys. Um,
Absolutely.
okay, last week slash this week, I was having some Instagram outreach issues in the sense that I was reaching out to people. We were like scheduling a call for a certain day and time, but I was giving them choices as to whether or not I could call them on like um, face no FaceTime, yeah, FaceTime audio versus like Facebook Messenger, and it was getting very convoluted, very confusing, very quickly. And people would be like, "Yeah, I can do this time," but then not give me any more info. Like I couldn't find them on Facebook to message them on Facebook, or they never gave me their phone number, so I couldn't call them on Facebook audio, or like just stupid little shit like that. That like I lost two phone calls because of that last week. And those are
Ah.
just like 15-minute chats, but like I gave too many options. So I'm just asking for phone numbers and then I will follow up with, hey, like, do you have Apple or Samsung? If you have Samsung, can we do this on WhatsApp or something like that? Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to ask for a phone number, not make it all fucking convoluted, or keep it within the app if we are talking on Instagram, and then we can just like hop on a quick video chat. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I just need to simplify shit because that got a little schmutzy last week.
Do you have any thoughts
Okay.
on the difference between like calling audio only and video chatting, especially
I
now
feel
that
like
people
people
are more
can
used
get
with video chatting?
I feel like people can get distracted with video chatting,
Mm-hmm.
you know? I've
Because
talked
they
to
see themselves.
multiple, yeah. Although I've had both, like with two business coaches that I've worked with. One was a video call, one was just an audio call. And the audio call guy was all like, don't use video call, it gets distracting. But the video, Jesus, the video call woman was like, yeah, always use video, but not for a 15-minute chat, not for, yeah, just like not for a 15-minute chat. So I don't know like what the right protocol is with that or not. It's super hit or miss, but like literally however I can get in contact with a person, like that's my goal, you
I think
know?
that's the key. Like whatever they're comfortable with,
Yeah.
if you can be there, great.
Yeah. Like exactly. But I also don't want to convolute it because that makes it messy. So
Right.
updates from
Yeah.
there. Okay. Google Alerts. I was listening to a podcast this week and it's google.com/alerts. Did you know that you can put your name in there and like if you're on podcasts or like if someone's writing an article about you, you get that information like emailed to you once a week?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, well, that was cool. Thanks.
That's really cool though. I mean, if you don't know about it, that's amazing.
Well, thanks. I felt super fucking cool. So on Google Ads,
Hey,
this is a
hey,
question.
whoa, 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 whoa. You are super fucking cool, Cel.
Thanks,
Whether
Josh.
I knew that information or not has no bearing on your self-worth.
Who am I trying to tell the fucking tech guy about tech shit? Who the fuck am I?
Been Google alerting since 2005.
Oh my god. Okay, well then. There's also Google Keywords Planner, which I knew about, but I haven't used Google Ads in like 3 years, to be completely honest.
Hmm.
But now Google Ads, like you can do like YouTube ads and like video ads, like all through the Google Ads platform. And I know they're hella expensive, but that's just something I'm like potentially tinkering with in the background. So I don't know if I'm going to do them, but I think learning about them might be helpful. So that's on my list of things to like look at ish this week.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
I had a chat with another business coach on Tuesday just to have a chat. She was super cool, super open minded about like giving me different suggestions. She's like, OMG, you should start a YouTube channel or like do Pinterest. And like, uh, all of that sounds really fucking time consuming. And I don't really understand. I was Googling it today, but like how to understand Pinterest and like how to use that for business. I don't know.
Right.
Do you
I
know
don't know
anything about
that.
that?
Yeah. I know
No?
nothing about Pinterest.
I don't either. I feel like I need to research it a little bit more to see if that would actually be worthwhile for my niche. Cause like, I don't know if it's like Instagram where you have to like post sexy pictures all the time, but it's not like I'm posting recipes. Cause like, that's not my shtick, you know?
Right,
So
right.
I, I think that those are good, like not knowing me, like those are good suggestions for someone who's like in my world, but I don't know. So I thought I'd just mention them here.
Yeah.
Okay. Business page on Facebook. Can we talk about how awesome that is? Guys, I was fucking everywhere this week.
You are all over the board.
So the business page on Facebook. Okay, so they like just changed over Instagram and now your Instagram looks more like Messenger, which is really confusing. But the business page has freaking everything, like all of the comments from like all of your posts on Instagram and then the feedback that you got on Facebook based off of those, and you can check your messages on Instagram and your messages on Facebook all in one spot. It's pretty fucking awesome. I knew about it,
Nice.
but I didn't know the vast array of what it offered me. So
Awesome.
I don't know if these are really questions. These are just aha moments that I had this week.
Hey, sometimes we're just reporting. It's a book report of your week. That's cool.
It
Sometimes we
really
learn
is a
things
book,
about
like literally a
Instagram and
book.
Facebook. So, yeah, what are you
Okay,
writing in there?
my notebook that I got from the dollar store equivalent here. It was
Nice.
35 cents.
It looks like a travel brochure or something. And I'm like, did you just like take notes on a back of a travel brochure?
Okay, so what I freaking found out, I knew it for a while, but Instagram TV. So like if you have IGTV on your phone, and you post videos to IGTV through your phone rather than through your computer and you're using the app, that app saves all of your IGTV videos and it saves it on your phone. So it takes up unnecessary storage on your phone. Fun fact. So I had like
Hmm.
5 gigs in my IGTV app on my phone unnecessarily.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That I did not know.
Bing, 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 bing.
You taught me a tech thing. That's going to be useful because people are going to start using that shit and calling me,
Yeah,
and I'm not
guys.
going to know what the hell they're talking about.
Yeah. So like you can upload to IGTV from your computer. So there's literally no reason to have the app unless you're like scrolling through IGTV like videos, but you can also do that on Instagram. So like I don't understand the point of the
Right.
phone app.
Yeah.
So save yourself like 6 gigs minimum on your phone and get that shit off.
Yeah. Great.
Um
Hot tech tip from Cel.
So with Pinterest, I was reading that like you can pin your blog posts, I guess, so that they get more visibility. I assume that would increase SEO if you're having like those sites go back to your site, right? Like I assume for SEO purposes, having a Pinterest with like blog posts on it would be beneficial, but I honestly don't know. Thoughts?
Yeah. Maybe. I
Okay,
don't.
let me Google. I'll Google
Again,
that this
I
week.
I think I understand the point of Pinterest when you're planning a wedding, and that's about it. So when you
That's the
find
only
out
reason I
how
used
to
it.
use it for business, you can
All
enlighten
right,
us.
I'll do some more research there. Um, Okay, so I was also looking through Google Analytics today, and
Hmm.
like I had it it disconnected from my site because I had someone running my site last year, and she must have connected it through like her Google Analytics site to like
Mm.
view mine,
Hmm.
and she just like cut that shit off real quick. So that's cool. I had no
Mm.
analytics on my site for like the last 9 months, so that's fun.
Oh.
Yeah, isn't that great? So
Yeah.
I restarted it like a month and a half ago and I saw some really good traffic days on days when I posted like giveaways. So for example, the day that I launched my ebook or like relaunched my ebook on my Instagram page and that went to my site, there was like a significant burst in traffic on my site. So I think that's really cool
Nice.
to see what you're posting and then like changing out your IG, your website area to like whatever you want them to go see based off of your link. And like that was a significant burst. I think it was like 400% um, like burst in that day. So that was significant. So if you guys can track what you're posting and then if it's going to your site, that makes it really easy because then the analytics see that. But that was really cool to see. I have a question for you though. What the
Yeah.
fuck is a Facebook pixel?
uh, so Facebook Pixel. I've learned a lot about this with the Facebook ads. Um,
Excellent.
a Facebook Pixel is let's see how to say this simply so everyone can understand it because I also don't necessarily know everything about it, to be fair, disclaimer. But what I understand about it is it's kind of like Google Analytics. You have to like go into Google Analytics and then tie something to your websites for them to be able to talk to each other, right?
Yeah.
So putting a Facebook pixel on your website lets Facebook track visitors who are leaving Facebook towards your website
Huh.
so that Facebook is aware that that person definitely went to your website and saw whatever page, and also maybe can track, depending on the thing, like what they do. Did they fill out the order form or something? And
Okay.
so when you're doing like Facebook ads, for instance, it's really useful because you can set the Facebook pixel to just be like, just track visitors, like how many, because all Facebook can see is how many times someone clicked the link, right, and left.
Yeah.
Um, until you put the Facebook pixel on, and then it could be like this many people downloaded my free PDF, for instance,
Hmm.
from leaving from this ad, they downloaded the thing, and so there I can see like, ah, so there were like, 100 clicks, but 60 downloads, which means I have like a 60% conversion rate on my site when they land
Okay.
there, right? So that's
Okay.
that's why.
Huh. Okay. That might be something to look further into then too. I know I
Yeah.
have it set up on my website, but is that also visible in like the business portal on Facebook?
Yeah, so business.facebook.com.
Yeah.
Have you been there? Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's where
Okay.
I you do it all.
Cool. Okay. Thank you for
Yeah,
that.
you're welcome.
Um.
Glad I
Okay.
could
Then
answer your one question this week in your book
Oh
report.
no, I have one more.
Oh,
Okay.
yay.
So my current one-liner on my social media is I don't have it up and I should have been more prepared. Okay. So my current one-liner is I help busy families learn to cook flavorful weeknight meals without sacrificing time. Kind of vague. I'm thinking about changing it to I empower busy families to learn to cook quick and easy meals even on the busiest of weeknights.
I think I love most of that.
Okay.
Uh, better than your first one. I think empower is a little buzzwordy and a little vague still.
Okay.
And I think if you're going to use like what Donald Miller always says, like don't get too poetic. Like he would
For sure.
say, "I teach, not
Yeah.
I empower,"
Yeah.
right? So I'd just say I teach.
Okay.
Um, but I think, yeah, read it again with teach. Let's see how that sounds.
I teach busy families to cook quick and easy meals even on the busiest of nights.
See, I think there I know exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, that sounds better. Thanks guys. Mostly Josh. Cool.
Hey,
Well, I think I'm going to
some
change
real
that this week.
brainstorming going on this week.
Yeah, cuz I was like going through people's profiles and I was like this fucking doesn't make any sense. Like what people are saying that they do.
Oh
Someone
yeah,
was like I help people or I help busy families. Oh, what was it? It was like meal prep dump meals. I don't know what the fuck that means, but it sounds
does not
grody.
sound appetizing. Yeah. I also like the three one word sentences like entrepreneur, furball mom, and uh, bicycle enthusiast. Like,
Yeah.
okay, but like, that's fine if you're personal, right? But if you're selling something, if you're a business, having a one liner like what you just said is like way more clear,
Yeah.
interesting, lets me know right away. Um, is what you're selling for me or not, right?
Yeah.
Because
Definitely.
if I cannot waste your time because it's not for me, great. And if I cannot waste my time going like, nope, nope, she's got the thing I want, great.
Yeah. Least amount of calories, right? That's what it all comes
Yeah,
down to.
exactly,
Okay,
exactly.
so I have a lot of goals for this week now. Fuck, based off of all of the things that I said
Well,
today.
let's go through
Jesus.
them. What are your goals?
Um, I'm
Wait,
gonna
wait,
stick.
wait. On goals, we had productivity expert Ellen Goodwin on just a few days ago, and
We
she
did.
gave us the most horrible but great idea to keep accountable.
Oh
if you
shit.
didn't listen to Wednesday's episode, check it out. But she told us a great way to keep accountable is a lot of like masterminds will do a thing where it's like, hey, if I don't do what I say I'm going to do, I have to give you $50 or buy you lunch next week or whatever, right? But her twist on it was, if I don't do what I say I'm going to do, um, you already like, me, Josh, and I don't say what I'm going to do. Cel already has a $50 check made out to an organization I hate, and her job is to send it in the mail.
Shit. Remind me to text you my credit card number. Fuck. I think we
uh,
should do it. I think we should do it. Fuck.
you want to
It's gonna
try
keep
it?
us Yeah, it's gonna keep us accountable.
It's going to be more like I cannot show up on Casual Fridays and disappoint the audience and say I didn't do what I said I'd do. But also, I don't want to donate $50 to the KKK or something like that.
Hell no. I swear, if you choose that and I don't make my goal one week, oh, I'm gonna be so pissed. But I guess you can't
um,
do it to like, I don't know, like a humane society, right? Because I'd be like, oh, it's fine. It's going to
no,
humane
yeah, it's got to
society.
be something you hate. So you're losing money and you're supporting something you hate. Election season's over now, so there's less incentive to like
Thank
support the
God.
other candidate or whatever. But yeah, thank God. Um, But okay, so I would say let's not waste airtime brainstorming what that is. But next week, one of our goals is we got to come up with organizations to send money to that we hate.
Okay.
uh, and if we don't do that, the other person just decides who to send $50 to on your
Oh,
behalf.
that's even worse.
How about that?
Yeah.
Okay. And
Okay.
then from
So
then
what are your
on, we'll
goals?
know which organization it's going to. All
All right.
right. My goal is let's see. I'm going to map out all the communication for the webinar we brainstormed today. So I'm going to have what the webinar's outline is. I'm going to have what uh, what the communication plan is as far as emailing the list, signups, all that stuff planned out on paper, but not necessarily online yet. If I get a little more advanced, then maybe I'll have like the webinar registration link ready to go. Maybe I'll have the email drafted, ready to send. But at the very least, I want it like all written out. I think one thing I really want to push myself to do is think about the marketing of a thing in full before I just start. Like what I would normally do is like I'm going to start writing an email right now, but like let me think about the whole how this goes. If the webinar is in December, and then I want the a couple emails before that. What do they look like?
Yeah.
And that way I just have to execute the plan. So my goal is to just make the framework of the communication plan
Cool. So
and come up with an organization I hate that you can give money to. Otherwise, you can also give money to some
cool.
organization for me. Thanks.
All right. So Avi, my goal too. I'll brainstorm an organization I'm not super fond of. Um, I think I'm going to take the same approach as you this week. I don't mean to steal your ideas, but I've started a funnel, but I have no emails to continue outreach to them. So I'm going to have to do some continued outreach emails, and that, for me, that's just going to be giving them more and more content for them to be able to work with their families, right? A bunch of free content that I have accessible already, and eventually end up hopefully having them purchase my course or opt out if it's not right for them, right? They get a bunch of free info, and if it's not right, it's not right. It is what it is. And then still doing outreach every day. I am not going to lie, it has been a struggle bus to do it the last couple of days. But yeah, continued outreach, 15 to 20 people a day. So that's what this next week is
Cool.
looking like.
All right, you heard it here first. If those things don't happen next week, we're in trouble. Uh, all right, Cel, take us out.
All right, guys. Well, that is a wrap on Cash Fry, or better known as Casual Friday. If you have a question for Casual Friday, email us at the Unstuck Institute, unstuck.institute@gmail.com, or hit us up on Instagram at unstuck.institute. And if you haven't already, download our free PDF of the Lifebook to keep the ball rolling on your own productivity. Get your Lifebook today at unstuck.institute/lifebook. See you next week and have an awesome weekend, guys. Bye.
Bye.